Now, sermon time. Remember the sermon? I get to preach. Great old story. I want to tell you this story. A young boy was working in a grocery store. This was back in the olden days, you know, a long, long time ago, like back in the 50s. Anyway, a young boy was working in a grocery store, and he saw his manager taking the coffee beans and taking them from the barrel into the bags, and he noticed the bags were a little bit smaller than the bags they had traditionally used. And he asked why, and the manager said, well, these are 13 ounce or 12 ounce bags. The other ones are 16 ounce. So what I'm going to do is just fill these up and sell it for the same price that we used to sell the pound for. You need to take all those off the shelf and we'll replace it with these. Nobody will know, and we'll make more money but use less coffee. Well, the young kid thought this was brilliant. He said, this is so awesome. So he went home and told his dad about it that night at dinner, and his father became angry and said, that's stealing, son. It's dishonest, it's manipulative, and you're never going back to work at that store again. Made him quit. And he went down there and yelled at the manager for influencing his child, because his child thought it was really cool. You could get the same amount of money for 12 ounces rather than 16. And he yelled at the manager and said, you're turning my child into a dishonest thief. And if that's who you are, we want nothing to do with this store ever again. We won't shop here. He will not work here. Really laid into him. Well, that little boy grew up and went on to be a store man himself. And of course, his name was J.C. Penney. And he prided himself of running a company that was always honest, was his motto. Always honest. If I sell you a pound of something, it will be a pound of something. So that's a little story. And I thought, wow, that's a father who stepped in and changed an influence that was starting to plant seeds in his son. He says, this ain't going to happen. Because you know what? How we define ourselves or what we value within us will ultimately define who we are in life. And I can't think of a better sermon than that right there. We're going to ask that question today. What defines us? Paul wrote to the Ephesians, blessed is the God and Father of our children. Blessed is our Lord Jesus Christ. He himself has given us every spiritual blessing, and he has chosen us that we should be holy and blameless always in love. And he has predestined us to be his children, his sons and daughters, according to his kind intention of his will. What defines us? Is it the Lord? Is it his spiritual blessings? Is it his purpose for our lives? Or does something in this world define us? Is God a priority? Is the world a priority? We're going to talk about that this morning. First, I want you to stand up one